Arlington County School District, and welcome back to another In the Know. And of course, we are moving through our school year pretty quickly here. I was just having a discussion with a few folks earlier this week that this is our 8th week since we've started. So we've been in school for 8 weeks, almost at the 9-week mark, 1/4 of the way through our school year. So it's pretty amazing how quickly things have flown by at the start of this school year. But glad to be with you, glad to be able to share a few things that have gone on around the district, and recent highlights from our work session that we had, and just be able to update you on a few things. So of course, with that 8 weeks also comes along with our calendar that we have, and we have our fall break. The offices will be open, and of course we'll be answering phones, but there won't be any personnel there that's there normally for instruction, and of course with our students. And so I know many people are looking forward to that break. For our other employees, our 240-day employees and 260-day employees, of course it is a time that is more quiet than other times during the school year. So again, I think we are all looking forward to, I think our students are looking forward to that fall break, our parents, and of course a lot of our employees are as well. So, but I wanted to update you on our recent work session, and the primary items that were discussed were test scores for our individual schools, as well as our capital projects, and just an update on where we are with those funds, the projects themselves that we're working on, and again, what are the budgets that we have available. So I will start with the test scores, and so I was able to talk to the board not only about our district level scores, but more importantly about our school level scores, and to highlight some of the great gains that we've had throughout the district. And so we were able to talk about both ELA and math meets and exceeds, as well as mean scores. And I'll explain the mean scores piece in just a second to you. But let's start with the meets and exceeds. That's the easy one that everybody talks about. That's what's out in the media. Of course, that's what's on our report card, and what a lot of people judge us on. So we had some significant gains in our ELA meets and exceeds across the district in SC Ready in all of our schools. And so I do want to highlight a few of our buildings. I'm not going to be able to mention everybody, but I certainly want to highlight some of the key ones, and that is Bay Road Elementary School had a 16.2% increase in their ELA meets and exceeds scores. So they went from 27.1% to 43.3%. So very significant gain. That was the highest gain that we had in the district in the ELA. We also had North Hartsville Elementary School with a 13.7% gain. They went from 41.9 to 55.6. Lamar Spalding, again, big gains last year. They had another big gain this year, up another 13% from 46.8 to 59.8%. And we also had Rosenwall Elementary with a 14.8% gain, J.L. Kane with an 11.5% gain, Hartsville Middle with a 10.6% gain. And again, all of our elementary and middle schools, we had gains across the district, and so it was great to see that. You know, again, there was only one exception. Otherwise, we had gains across the board, and some of them were significant. So we had a chance to talk about that with the board. Math. Of course, as you all know, our math scores, not just ours, but across the state, they did not improve as much as our ELA scores did. In fact, the state had about a 1.7% increase over last year, but we as a district had almost a 4% increase. So significant increase this year, and excited to see that for the schools. Again, biggest increase we had in math was at Bay Road Elementary School. We had a 10.8% increase. Brockington Elementary School had a 9.8% increase. J.L. Kane had a 7.5% increase. Carolina Elementary had a 6.3% increase. And North Hartsville had a 7% increase. So that's just highlighting some of the great increases and gains that we had. Again, our math was not necessarily the same amount of growth as we did with ELA, but still there are some spots that I just spoke about around the district where we were able to see that. So this is a direct reflection of the work that is being done in our schools, by our teachers, by our staff and our assistants that we have, by our custodians, food service, school counselors, interventionists, everybody that's involved at the school level. These scores are a direct reflection on the effort that you've put in, and of course our principals too that are leading our buildings. So again, very happy to see these scores, and I just want to encourage everybody in our buildings that we know if we were able to do that this year, that we certainly will be able to do that this upcoming year as well, and look forward to more gains in both ELA and math. And then also, I did talk a little bit about our mean scores and our rankings, and so let me talk briefly about that. Meets and exceeds is a category that we all know. There are 4 categories, of course. Not met, approaching, meets, and exceeds. And we always talk about meets and exceeds together, but I also like to look at the growth across all 4 categories. And so instead of talking about 4 different categories and 4 different percents, I like to look at our mean scores that we have. And so the mean scores, of course, are the actual raw scores that our students have. And again, all that adds up to what that looks like for the school as well. And so when I see our mean scores rise, that means across all 4 areas, typically, we're moving students that may still be in the not met category, but we're moving them higher in that category. Or we may be moving them from not met to approaching. And so it captures all of our students. And again, I like to be able to rank not only our district against other school districts in the state, but also our schools against other schools in the state. And so, for example, there's 614 elementary schools that are grades 3 to 5 that I compare our schools against across the state and what their mean scores look like, as well as some of the other categories that they have. There's approximately 297 middle schools, grades 6 through 8, that I compare. So we had that discussion as well, and our principals in all of our buildings have that information as well, and I'm certain we'll be able to share that with you. The other item, big item that we talked about at the work session was our capital projects update and where we stand. And again, remember, capital projects are pretty much large ticket types of items that we use our bond, you'll hear 8% money, you'll hear bond money, you'll hear capital project money. All that is one and the same. And just remember that capital money and capital projects is a different pot of money than what our general fund operating budget is. And so, for example, our general fund is what we use to pay all of our salaries out of, all of our supplies. And so when we talk about our regular budget, that's what we're talking about is our general fund budget. And so, but we use our capital fund budget to do a lot of the repairs and maintenance, large maintenance projects, construction projects that we have. That's what the capital monies are used for. And again, we cannot use that money for general fund items either. So for example, we would not be able to take money from the capital fund and use it for paying salaries. That is against the law to do that. So just know when you hear about capital projects and the different types of projects, they can only be used with the money that we receive for those projects from our bonds that we sell. So for example, bathroom renovations that we've had at several of our high schools, those are capital projects that we have going on right now. Also big ticket items like the weapons detectors that we had in the high school and middle schools, we've purchased those in the past with capital monies. Technology purchases, those are capital projects as well. So all of the MacBooks and iPads and Promethean boards, all those are capital projects, as well as our new school that we're building. So the new Darlington area elementary school is being paid for out of capital funds, capital project funds. And so it was just a discussion about where we are with that, and where we are with the progress on some of these different projects that we have. And it varies throughout the year depending on when we finish projects and then add more projects. So it is a continuous cycle. Those monies are intended for maintenance and to be able to do repairs, large repairs across the district. Those monies have been set aside by the state for the districts to use. They also, of course, it's local monies that we get from taxes for that as well. So anyways, we had a good conversation about our capital projects that we have going on. The next thing that I have on my list is our class tag update. So again, I know we have rolled out our new communications tool. We have a lot of new on the communication side this year, but we finally have been able to get up and running that texting / email tool that teachers are able to use to communicate with their families and for our high school and middle schools with our students. And so I know many of y'all have embraced that pretty quickly and are currently using it to be in touch with your parents, but it also with our students as far as the day-to-day operations of what's going on in the classrooms, and of course any types of activities, whether it be homework assignments or class announcements, those types of things that we have going on. So I know, again, it's been a great start to using this new system, and I look forward to seeing how that continues to evolve for our teachers, our parents, and our students across the district. And that is everything that I have on my list. So again, I hope you have, if you're traveling next week, I hope you have safe travels. I pray for rest for you. I pray for safe travels with you and your family. But most importantly, I pray for just a time to get some rest, re-energize, and be able to be focused on working through the rest of the semester until our Christmas break. Like I always say, hug on your family. Tell them how much you love them and appreciate them. Tell them that we appreciate them sharing you with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you the next time in the